Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Appalachian Brewing Company podcast. Mike Parker here alongside Artie Tafoya from ABC, and a special guest this week. It's the head brewer from Appalachian, Cliff Plank. Artie and Cliff, how you guys doing?
Hey Mike, doing great.
Doing well, Mike. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, if you hear a little bit of ambient sound, I guess, in the background, it's just the atmosphere because we are in the flagship today. We are at Harrisburg. It's been a big new year for you guys. You're back open here in the city of Harrisburg, and things are up and running with a few tweaks, right?
Yeah, Mike, I think we may have mentioned that we were getting open in the last podcast, or we had just opened with some changes. Yeah, we have more table ordering, and also we did go cashless at this location for specific reasons of trying to just scale things back. But we've been open. We got through Farm Show Week and the rest of January, and now we're heading into February, and we're looking forward to having a good Sportsman Show week as well.
Exactly. Yeah, you see the billboards around for the Great American Outdoor Show, right? The biggest outdoor show in the world is literally a mile down the street here on Cameron Street in Harrisburg, and Cliff Plank is the head brewer here at ABC, and that means you need to have a lot of beer ready.
Oh yeah, we do. And before I actually was here, on Team ABC, this place that I heard before pre-COVID was insane. It was kind of, for lack of a better word, ass to elbow in this place, for a week straight. So, I'm looking forward to, kind of getting back to the old ABC and almost the stories that I've always heard before moving down to this area and getting to experience it myself.
It's cool. It's cool to watch the guys that come in and try to sell their hunting and fishing charter and guide trips and stuff from in the Midwest and stuff, and they come to Appalachian every night and then they're walking out with cases of soda and growlers full of beer, and they're taking the ABC name across the country with them when they leave. So it's a good week not only for the people who are here, in working in the restaurant to stay busy and keep up with that pace, but it's just great for overall marketing. Of the brand. You probably have lots of repeat customers from over the years from big shows that happen in Harrisburg, right, Artie?
You bet, Mike. We see groups of people come in, and they've come every year, and I think last year was canceled.
Yeah.
So it'll be good to have some of them back. It was sort of a condensed farm show. I think they're probably, I don't know I didn't hear their attendance numbers, Mike, but I'm assuming that, they were down, to 60% of the normal,
right.
Just because, everybody's trying to get back into things here. But, we're hoping that the Sportsman Show does a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
And we get some of those groups that we have coming here, and they've been coming here for years.
Well, February's a big month, because it's like the lovers month, right? You got the lovers holiday, Valentine. We're recording on Groundhog Day, we're past that holiday. And now we'll look forward to Valentine's Day. Cliff, you've got a dark beer sitting in front of you, and I've got one sitting in front of me. Artie, I don't know what you're drinking over there. Okay.
I got the old standby Hoppy Trails,
okay,
Mike.
so you got the Hoppy Trails IPA, but Cliff, you brewed up something special.
Yeah, so what we've got here is, it's called our Midnight Refrigerator. It's an 8.5% pastry stout, and you're going to smell and taste flavors of chocolate-covered cherry cheesecake. So you got that graham cracker, you've got vanilla, the cinnamon, the sweet cherries, and all that kind of melds together with that, malty, chocolatey base of the beer itself.
And I just took my first sip because I couldn't. The description, I wanted to experience it while I was tasting it. You're right on with that. First of all, I can sort of smell the chocolate, and I can smell that there's a sweetness to it. But once you describe the cherries, that's where I'm kind of picking up those. Cherry complements cheesecake and graham cracker. So it's not like I'm tasting cheese here. Really.
Right, you're not. No, you're not. Very well balanced.
Delicious.
I'll be honest, our assistant brewer, Scott Zeller, is actually the one that kind of came up with the idea of the flavor profile. I kind of got to sit back and listen to everybody's ideas, and I'm not a big fan of cherries in a stout. I never have been. But I kind of let it ride, and, it was almost like day by day, and it came to time to put the cherries in, and it came out way better than I had imagined. And next day, after 24 hours of it sitting on those cherries, and then another 24, it just kept getting better and better. The balance is fantastic. Nothing really offsets itself or overpowers as far as like one flavor. It kind of just really, you get that whole experience in that beer without anything overtaking. So I'm really proud of it. I think the team did a good job with the beer.
Delicious. Artie, what did you think when you first tried the Midnight Fridge Raider?
Yeah, to be honest with you, Mike, coming from my roots of brewing, pastry stouts are not in my forte, so I'm a little too old to be making pastry stouts, back in the day. But right now, I'll tell you what, I tasted, they sort of described it to me. I tasted it and got a chance to taste it a little bit through the process. But the one thing that really stands out to me is the mouthfeel of it.
Yeah. That's
where I explained to a lot of people that I've, of course, tasted it with more recently, and the mouthfeel is almost the cheesecake portion of it. You know how when you eat a cheesecake, you get that sort of creamy type mouthfeel? That's what this beer gives me in the middle, that middle palate.
Yeah.
So you have that upfront sweetness. I love that stout flavor, the cherries, everything comes over, and then it finishes with I get a little bit more of the graham cracker on the very finish. So it's an experience. I love it.
No, it's delicious, and I mean, I'm just saying this too. Just from the standpoint of anybody who's scared of a stout, because the quote unquote, I don't like thick beers or anything. Like, this is not a thick. There's no thickness to this. In my opinion, it's a dark beer, but it's really pleasant. Really, it's just delicious.
Yep.
So.
Full body, but not thick. It does have a nice body to it.
Right.
Softer. But I think it's approachable for those who maybe don't drink stouts as much as me or you.
No, really good. I wouldn't shy away from having somebody come in and just like the flavor profile. Give that a try. I think you're right on with it. So guys, if you come into the Appalachian Brewing Company location here around the month of February, just in time for Valentine's Day, the Midnight Fridge Raider is on tap, and I think you guys canned some of this too, right? On the new canning line.
We did, yeah. So this beer in particular was our actual first full run on our new Cody canning system. So we just put that in here a few weeks ago, and we're kind of getting into, we're not getting rid of the whole bottle, which everyone is used to seeing our products, but it's kind of that transition into what a lot of breweries and a lot of consumers are looking for in packaging.
Artie, you've been hearing those bottles clank around in the back of the brewery for a couple of decades now. What's it like to see the aluminum cans being filled with Appalachian Brewing Company beer?
As far as I'm concerned, Mike, it's glorious. We're like Cliff said, we're not going to get rid of the bottles, because I think there's a great place for bottles and cans. And one of the things that we learned over the last couple of years is we need to be set up to be very diverse in our offerings. And let's just say cans aren't available for some reason. We've got bottles, and if bottles for some reason something happens there, we've got cans. So we're much better set up as a company, having the canning line along with everything else that we have going, and we're looking forward to offering some of our flagships in both, but also maybe mostly specialties in cans. Cans are so much easier to make and produce because you don't have the 6-pack carrier, the case pack, and all those different things. Really, you just use a tray and what we call pack techs, which are the little contraptions that hold the 6 cans together. There are boxes for cans and stuff like that, but we're just sort of getting a run at it and getting started. I will say, Mike, that we just did some costing work, and a can and a lid is officially more expensive than a bottle and a crown.
No kidding.
So,
wow.
And it just so happens that way. The market, there was a shortage in cans, so of course the price goes up.
Right.
So we're looking at about 19 cents for a can and a lid, where a bottle and a crown's probably around 15 cents. So it's just sort of crazy, Like, I mean, you would think that a can would be much less than a bottle. I think where we gain and where we make up that amount, and maybe even some more is in shipping.
Shipping for
Yeah,
sure.
because
Right.
the cans are so much lighter than to ship across
Yeah, makes
into
sense.
another state or wherever, as opposed to those heavy bottles.
Well, diversity of the product is great because, like, there's, quite frankly, there's just some places where glass bottles are not welcome. They don't make sense. You know, you don't want to have them. You know, look, if I had the choice between in the summertime having a glass bottle around the pool or a can, I would probably go with the can because, if, did you drop a bottle around the pool, you got people in bare feet. I'm just giving one example of probably a million. Tailgating up at Penn State or wherever you want to go, Shippensburg. Like, these are places that probably the can's a little bit easier to haul around too.
Absolutely.
I'm the worst beer consumer because whether it's in a can or a bottle, I still pour it in a glass. So it doesn't
Yeah, it's just a vessel until it gets to you.
it's just for transport. I mean, like,
All right, well, it's been a good start to the podcast, guys. Good to be back with you here as we kick off the month of February. We're here with it's me, Mike, and Artie and Cliff. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about what to look forward to as we approach Valentine's Day, and I guess we're going to get to know you a little bit more, Cliff. So we'll talk to you in just a minute when we come back on the Appalachian Brewing Company podcast. All right, and we're back on the Appalachian Brewing Company podcast. It's Mike, it's Artie, and it's Cliff. Cliff Plank is the head brewer here at ABC. I know it's been a couple of years, though, amazingly, we've talked about you, but Artie, Cliff hasn't actually been. We thought about this. The last time he was on the podcast was February of 2020, okay, before things all went to crap. You had an awesome beer festival here in Harrisburg, the Winter Warmer Fest.
that's right.
That seems like so long ago. It was only 2 short years ago.
Ages.
Yeah,
Ages ago.
I think that's right when we pretty much we started. That was somewhere around the first 5 episodes, wasn't it? Or
Oh
something?
yeah. We had tons of different. And so actually, if you're finding our podcast somehow after 2 years or whatever, which is cool to think about, we've been doing it for 2 years. That was a good episode because we had multiple guests. We didn't know. I probably was drinking during it. More. I mean, if I had 15 brewers come up to the table during that podcast, that means
right.
I had at least 15 samples.
Yeah, that's
But my
right.
wife was with me, so but when we finished up the podcast, I said, I will come hang out with you. I said, I just have to do this for Artie.
Well, thank you, Mike.
No, it was great. Actually, I really remember, the alcohol mustn't have had that great of an impact because I actually remember that episode. It was cool. And Cliff, you were brand new, but you're brand new to ABC, but you've been brewing around this area for a long time. Just fill us in again for people who haven't met you yet through the podcast. Where you started, how you got here.
So I started, brewing as a home brewer. It was a passion that quickly became an obsession. And, I did work within the industry. I was doing marketing for Diageo, working for Guinness at the time, and was just brewery hopping anytime I traveled. And that kind of led to my first brewing gig, which was brewmaster at Chatty Monks there in Reading. So I was there for about 3 years before moving a little closer to home, which landed me at Tattered Flag in Middletown, at which I was about a year there before coming here. And so February 17th will be my 2-year here at ABC.
Cool. And so obviously it's been an interesting time because you probably hit the ground running and then all of a sudden things came to a little bit of a halt, but that doesn't mean you stopped brewing beer.
No. It was almost like a movie to me where it was right around St. Patrick's Day of 2020, and it's ingrained in my mind, but all the decorations from St. Patrick's Day were here, and they were here for 9 months, and it was kind of like going in through a zombie movie where the Christmas tree's up from 5 years ago, and it's just deserted and left the way it was, and that's kind of what happened. So it's been a really weird 2 years, but I feel now where you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and we have a lot of exciting things going on, and kind of just dipping our toes into a lot of things. We're talking a lot about Harrisburg and our team here, but Mechanicsburg has a ton going on too. They got a can line as well, so we didn't just get one, but we got 2. So that gives those guys the ability to do a lot more with their seltzers, and they're doing their sodas and liquor, just everything that they're doing over there. That's exciting too. So the company as a whole, we just have a lot going on.
Artie, what is it that you like? Obviously, you're a brewer yourself. You're the OB here, the original brew master, right? So when you've dealt with a lot of different brewers and brewing styles over the years, and certainly they got to get to know how to brew some of these flagship ABC beers, but then they all bring their own twist, and you've talked very highly of Cliff for the past 2 years. What is it about him that you appreciate about his style and the way that he runs the brew house?
Well, one thing I love about not only Cliff but Bruce as well is they really both have a commitment to making super great beer, and they don't cut corners. They don't. There's no shortcuts in what they do, and I've watched the guys. I sit back and I watch them, and I'm just like, this is great. And then you taste the beer, and you're like, you can taste their commitment in the beer, and it's pretty amazing to me, that you have that type of a team together, and with Scott involved too, and of course all the other guys in production that we have. They're just all sort of working in the same direction. It's so nice to see people doing that, and you every time you take a sip, you taste their quality, and it's awesome.
All right, well, listen, I want to actually take a sip. I want to cheers because we talked a couple minutes ago about some of the big events happening in Harrisburg, and people trying Appalachian Brewing Company products while they're in town. Cliff is actually now. I saw you accepted an award down at the farm show for as part of their brewers contest. And you're actually one. It's actually a beer that everybody knows. It's a Harrisburg born beer. So tell us about the award that you won and the beer style you won for.
Yeah. So congrats to the whole ABC team for sure. I was just the one that got to accept the award. But yeah, we took a first place in the Amber Lager category for our Cabona Fest, which is our seasonal Oktoberfest that comes out every fall. So yeah, super excited about that. There were a lot of good breweries and a lot of good brewers and good beer that were entered into that competition. And to take that category, especially for this brewery, I feel like ABC is a brewery that's made good lagers for a very, very long time.
That one means something. It's personal,
yeah.
right?
I mean, I hope it means a lot to Artie, to be honest, because, these are his babies and his beers, and, we're just doing our part, to make the best beers that we can. And, it's a hard category. I mean, a lager, it's no joke. I mean, you can't fix mistakes in a lager. You can mask mistakes in other styles of beer, but not a lager. So, you're really striving for perfection in that style. So, yeah, really exciting. It's not the most glamorous beer. Hey, we didn't win the fruited sour category or something like that. But
fruited sour.
Well, hey, I'm not picking on it. Don't get me wrong. But it's one of my.
I like those too. But come on, right? The Amber Lager category is way better. And Artie, I know how much you love the Cabona Fest. Seriously, that's an iconic beer. It's an iconic seasonal for ABC.
Yeah, when it came out this year, I was like, this is spot on. These guys just hit a home run. And so it was very nice. More recently, every beer they're making, I felt that way about. So it's not like these guys are hitting some and missing some. They're just hitting everything. And it just so happened that beer was one of the ones we entered and won with, and happy to be one of the local companies that in the farm show area that won awards.
Well, I actually had to judge apple pies at the farm show a couple of years. Let me tell you, apple pies, there were 67 counties in Pennsylvania, and there were 67 entries. So I don't know how many entries there were in the Amber Lager category, but judging could not have occurred if there were a beer from each county. So I would say probably the last beer before the person passed out was the one that won, but no, under there. So there was probably some good contenders, but
for sure.
I mean, the Cabona Fest is a great beer, and I enjoyed it this summer when it was in cans, by the way. Cabona Fest is definitely near and dear to a lot of our hearts. So great job by the entire brew staff. And,
Thank you.
Cliff, well deserved. So guys, when we come back, we said we'll talk a little bit about Valentine's Day, how you can involve some Appalachian Brewing Company into that lovers holiday. We'll be right back. It's Mike, and it's Artie and Cliff on the Appalachian Brewing Company podcast. All right, we're back on the podcast right now at Appalachian Brewing Company, hanging out here with Artie and Cliff Plank, the head brewer at Appalachian. And guys, it's Valentine's Day. So Artie, I think we talked about it before. I guess I'll start things off. First of all, a quick cheers here because I switched beers. So
all right.
I enjoyed my Midnight Refrigerator, the pastry stout, which was delicious. But I'm going to wash it down with an On Point Pils. So perfect beer, right? You do that?
Well, you go midnight and then you go pills. You're not tasting anything there, Mike, but that's all right. As long as you wash it down.
It's right. Okay, that's fine. But so it's definitely a palate cleanser.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since I finished that one, so my
You're
buds
okay.
have recovered. The
All
taste
right,
buds.
good.
It's really good. It's really good.
And I've got the Argyle sweater, the IPA here.
Always
Man,
very
this is banging.
super flavorful.
The aroma's awesome. Flavor's awesome. Just couldn't be happier with that beer.
Cliff's got the award-winning Capona Fest over there. So,
Heyo.
all right, awesome. So we're drinking beer and we're talking about Valentine's Day, and like, I've been married at this point for 18 years. Valentine's Day, I do remember dating when I dated my wife Tara for, oh gosh, I don't know. I think I made her like a homemade. Like, I think I made her like a steak one time, and she actually ate it and she thought, like, this guy's really, he was like, I don't know she...
You know how to bring them in, Mike.
I don't know if I'm talented or she thought I was definitely well-meaning. she ate some of it. And then I remember, we went out on dates, like for date night, definitely bought her flowers. We went out to like a little Italian restaurant or something like that. And we've definitely come to ABC a couple of times over the years. But I don't know, now that we have kids, I have a 13-year-old daughter, I try to spread things out. Like the kids buy like the Valentines that they take to school and stuff, and like candy hearts, and so it's kind of gotten a little different. Like my Valentine's Day has kind of gone into that kid mode at this point. And if I buy some flowers or something like that for my wife and my daughter, that's kind of what I'm doing, just to kind of let them know that I'm thinking about them. But Artie, what about you? At Valentine's Day, what has Carrie experienced over the years?
Well, Mike, I'm a romantic. That's in my DNA. I don't work very often, so I spend a lot of time thinking about what I can do on Valentine's Day. No, so you know what? Carrie has become. A wife of low expectations, I would say. Is that? I don't know if I should say that about myself, really. But truly, I mean, we've been married 27 years. Now it's about big surprises. So I've sort of given up on Valentine's Day, but but anniversaries. We did our 25th, and we were supposed to go to Spain. Now, this is a little bit about me, of course, and I make it all about me in most cases, but I wanted to go see the running of the bulls.
Yes.
So we set up a time to go, and, we were going to be there for the running of the bulls. I don't know, it's July of 2020, and of course that didn't happen. So we talked about in 2021, no, 2022, maybe. So I still am holding that card, and so I think Carrie, my feeling is it should be Valentine's Day every day. You should do something nice for your wife every day, and that's how I get by.
You were saying, really, we were joking that Arbor Day to you is really big,
yeah.
right? Arbor Day.
Yeah. Well, that's our big romantic holiday.
Cliff, you have a girlfriend. You're not in the, I don't know, you don't have the decades of experience and wisdom that Artie shared.
I don't.
I'm not sure if that was wisdom or not.
Is there anything romantic, on tap, shall we say?
So I'm, yes, but I will say that I kind of am like Artie in the sense of So I will do the roses and everything, but I don't think that there needs to be a holiday for you to go out and get your wife or girlfriend flowers. So she's not a stranger to getting flowers. So these will just be roses versus something different. But we like to travel. We do it with 2 dogs, obviously no kids. So this year we're not doing anything because of Super Bowl being that same weekend. But the following weekend we're going to get to Frederick, Maryland for the weekend and just hit some breweries and some restaurants and hang out, just kind of weekend away.
It is a big holiday for some people, and it's just more of probably a tradition than it is, super important to their relationship. So I would say, Artie, when it comes to Appalachian Brewing Company products, there's a lot of things you can do to make Valentine's Day special.
Yeah, I would say number 1 is go out and buy your significant other a 4-pack of Midnight Refrigerator.
There you go.
Drink it all, and then whatever happens after that happens after that. I can't tell you what to do there.
What happens 9 months in February?
What month is that?
Damn Midnight Refrigerator. Well, listen, the date night at the ABC, whatever day of the year it is, whether it's Valentine's Day or any other day, it's always great. We want to make sure things are different at each location, the hours, the offerings. So just check out abcbrew.com. Call your location ahead of time. Make sure that they're gonna be open when you want to come in. But Valentine's Day is an important holiday for some people, and for other people, it's just an opportunity to have a little fun, break up the winter blues, and spread some love. So, guys, it's been a lot of fun. Anything else you want to mention? I actually heard Cliff mention something that I think, I don't want it to be a premature announcement, but I heard there might be some live music coming back to ABC. Is that true already?
Well, I've been in talks with Sarah. She has some things going, and they're looking at getting the Abbey Bar back up and running. So nobody is more excited than Cliff Plank about that. I know Cliff and I enjoyed many a beer, many a night up there in the Abbey Bar, and I'm sure the Abbey Bar reopening in his new home is probably very welcome to him.
Yes, very excited. I've been wanting it for 2 years probably, if not a little bit longer. So, I'm really excited to hopefully see some bands coming through here and getting this place back to where we used to be. So, keep an eye out that I think. We'll have those Facebook events and stuff like that, so keep your eye out on those platforms.
One thing I will tell you, Mike, is that these guys have pushed me harder than anybody. Bruce, Cliff, and all the guys that work here on a daily basis. They're like, Artie, we want to get back to normal. We want to work in a brew pub. We want this place to be hopping. We want to come in after work and talk to customers. We want to come to Abbey Bar shows. So they're pushing me, and we're doing what we can to sort of open up as we go here. We started with 4 days, we moved to 5 days, we moved to 6 days. Hopefully we can go open every day here in the next, we're really looking for this spring for everything to start changing a little bit for us.
Yeah.
Let's sure keep our fingers crossed and hope that we can move in the right direction here.
It's awesome, man. I love to hear the optimism and that the staff is anxious and eager, and that I look around here right now, and look, there's people back in the brew pub, and here in Harrisburg, where you guys were unfortunately had to close due to some unprecedented circumstances, I guess, as we could say, over the last year. So this is just amazing. All good things happening at Appalachian Brewing Company right now. Artie, if I want some Appalachian craft spirits, I'm headed to my local good fine wine and good spirits store, right? Or I can order. Right. I can even order online, right?
You can order online. You can pick it up in Mechanicsburg or our Battlefield location in Gettysburg. So nice. if you're in those areas, you can just pop in and grab it.
All right, Cinco de Mayo will be here soon. Can you believe it? We'll have 2 more episodes till we're trying out the Appalachian Craft Spirits Silver in a margarita, right?
Oh yeah, let's do that, and let's also hope that Cliff makes his Gosa again. That margarita Gosa was
that was awesome.
that was banging. That was banging.
Cliff, any last words? I'm going to give you the open mic here to wish everybody well before we sign off.
No, just I've had a great time being here, so I appreciate you guys inviting me. And again, to anyone listening, stop on out, especially to the Harrisburg location. We are open, and looking forward to getting this stuff going again.
All right, from the craft beer that you love, the craft soda, the craft spirits, your favorite Appalachian brewing company, Brew Pub, and the products wherever you can find them in the stores and retail locations across Pennsylvania and beyond. Just all the latest stuff, go to abcbrew.com. It's been a lot of fun hanging out with the two brewers, and Artie, the OB from back in the day, and the future, one of the guys that's on the team that really makes up the future here, the head brewer, Cliff Plank. Cliff, it's been great. Guys,
thanks,
Mike.
Mike.
We say,
Thank you, Mike.
Happy February to everyone. We'll see you next month, and cheers.
Cheers.